Executive Director and founder of EDS Wellness. For those that don't know me, I work closely with Kathy. Dineo is the summer intern wellness. I talk a lot, I talk a lot about movement and nutrition and mind-body strategies and living well and restoring function because I always say at the end of the day, nothing else really matters. Mm-hmm. We can belabor all we want about diagnosis, comorbidities, complaints, whatever, but at the end of the day, that doesn't really help us get better. And not saying that people can't vent and shouldn't vent, but I've also found through my own journey that the more I allowed my head to go there, the more I even expelled it from my mouth. It took on a life of its own. And I can't control it once it comes, it's not enclosed. You know, once it comes out of my mouth, I can't change how you're gonna perceive it. My dad perceives it, my husband, my kids. And I found that there's a lot of things that I would say that I didn't necessarily mean. I was just saying them like my father. You know, I would say, I would just tell a fact. And he perceived it as a complaint, as bad, as I'm saying the world is coming down. And I wasn't. I can't change the way that my husband interprets it or what he perceives about it. So I found that in order to control my world and my health, I had to control a lot of what I say and what I dealt with, but which was also very frustrating because then it reminded me of when, as a kid, my father was a fighter pilot with the Air Force. He flew. He was an immigrant. My parents were also immigrants from Denmark. My mom was second generation. My dad was first generation. They lived a hard life. The Danish people are Vikings. We were, you don't admit any kind of suffering or any kind of, inkling or anything. So I was brought up that way. So I also had this guilt of saying like, okay, I want to vocalize how I'm feeling and I want to be validated, but then also realizing that saying too much, there was a point to what my dad would say, growing up. So with that being said, I also suffered a lot as a kid. I was incredibly clumsy. I did all these things, and I found movement basically made me feel better. I could not play sports. I'm legally blind in my left eye. I was incredibly tired. I would sleep under the cash register of my mom's Chromebooks. My parents were divorced. I didn't know what was going on. I was just 11 or 12 years younger than 11 and 13 years younger than my real siblings. My father was divorced. I had step-siblings. Everybody was athletic. I wasn't. I would try to do gymnastics, but then I was too tall. I was also afraid to go and do anything higher than a balance beam like this high. I was afraid to do a back handspring. I just couldn't find my way. I didn't have a lot of muscle tone, but I would go dance in my living room for hours to putting on the Ritz, the records, like actually put it on. And so I found that movement, not just exercise, made me feel better. And then I remember my brother, I love cheerleading. My brother would say to me, I think I was probably like 10, and he'd be like, you have no muscle on your legs. And I remember going, oh, I remember my cheerleading, this is my life, like what are you talking about? And he was right, I don't have that physique. And I was like, gosh darn it, I want muscles on my legs. So I started working out to Buns of Steel videos at age 11. I also did that because growing up, my parents were, as I said, divorced. I lived with my mother and my grandmother who were bedridden my whole life. Undiagnosed EDS, plus the plethora of everything else. So by then, I already saw everybody in my family, what issues they had. My father ignored it, but they had clear issues. My mom's family had everything and then some, and I lived with grandma with the pills who everybody just dismissed. But now we know what she had.